the next rule that I want to touch on is a very interesting rule for me, and that's understanding a very basic human truth. What do we mean by human truth? They psychological triggers that go off, and I blame this on human conditioning. From when we're grown up, we're told you do this, you don't do this, you eat that, you don't eat that, and it's these human truths that you've got to find interesting angles with. And I'm gonna show you probably one of the worst briefs, and I need to correct myself there. There is no such thing as a bad brief. But it was a challenging brief where we had to market a mall. And as you know, mall marketing is, very interesting. So how do we even start with this? And one thing that etiquette and the guys from etiquette are very good at is, linking things, the most random things. And one of those things was Ryan Gosling. Okay? Well, not actually, but a lot of people would have liked that, I'm sure. But it was more particular a scene within a movie. Do all of you know which movie this is from? It's Crazy Stupid Love. And there's the scene, and I'm not going to play the whole scene, I just need to explain just a part of it, and then I'll play a section, where you all know the main plot. There's this character played by Mike Sherrill, I think. Steve Carell. Mike Sherrill. Steve Carell. Almost. He finds out his wife's cheating on him, so he goes to this, bar, and he sits there, and he's, sipping his little pink drink and moaning with everyone around him. It's that typical scene. And Ryan Gosling walks up to him and says, you know what, I can't handle this anymore. I don't know you, but I'm going to help you. Meet me at the mall this time, tomorrow. A scene within a movie. Do all of you know which movie this is from? It's Crazy Stupid Love. And there's the scene, and I'm not going to play the whole scene, I just need to explain just a part of it, and then I'll play a section, where you all know the main plot. There's this character played by Mike Sherrill, I think. Steve Carell. Mike Sherrill. Steve Carell. Almost. He finds out his wife's cheating on him, so he goes to this, bar, and he sits there, and he's, sipping his little pink drink and moaning with everyone around him. It's that typical scene. And Ryan Gosling walks up to him and says, you know what, I can't handle this anymore. I don't know you, but I'm going to help you. Meet me at the mall this time, tomorrow. And this is where the scene plays off. Now, I'm not going to play the whole scene. Ladies, I'm sure you would have liked to see the whole scene. But I'm going to play a section of it. So I think you all picked up the trigger that went off. It was the trigger where he said, be better than the gap, be better than the gap. What's very interesting is, and try this experiment, if you have an office, pull someone into that office, sit them down and go, start off the sentence with, whoever the name is, you're better than this. You can be, and watch their faces. Watch what happens when you say that. I tried it. Just don't do it with sensitive people. They start crying immediately. But it's interesting what happens. It's literally, a few words and you've got an emotion going without even doing anything, just saying those words. What's very interesting about this mall in particular, it's Clearwater Mall. They've got another mall opening just right down the road from them. So they needed a positioning that could actually, prohibit that mall from taking their clients and their customers over. So they needed something very strong that, no one else could own. So we said, okay, taking this insight, taking this trigger, how can we create something that, is probably the most ultimate line you could ever own? And it was quite simply this, for better. And where this came from was that very unique situation where a new you is born from the moment you realized you can be better. Now, what's very interesting, and unfortunately the clip isn't working for the radio ad, so I'm going to have to read it to you, which I hate doing, but anyway, I'm going to try. But we started playing around with this creative, typical traditional advertising, how can we create these moments in time? A new you born from the moment you realized you could be better, for better Clearwater Mall. And it's the psyche that we really wanted to tap into. But where it started getting interesting was, as we started writing the radio, these like uncanny stories came out of nowhere from people all over in the agency. And these stories were human truths. And the human truths were based on people, wanting to be better, or people wanting to have their spouse or partner or whoever be better. And one of the guys at Etiquette, girls actually, their mom had a boyfriend at the time, now married. While they were busy dating, he said to her, he loves going to Phuket because he gets his Mandarin shirts made there. And she was like, hell no. That's ending right now. And we realized that there's these moments, like everyone has them, where, it's hell no, put those shoes away. They worn straight through, 1988. So we started writing these scripts. This one in particular, and I'm going to try and read it as a voiceover artist would read it. Be better. Be better than that washed-out Hawaiian shirt Auntie Cecile bought you on her Caribbean cruise in 1988 and you still wear to every family braai. Everyone hates that shirt, even Auntie Cecile. In fact, she hated it when she bought it. She was young and in love and only remembered that she should probably bring her only nephew a gift from her trip as they were pulling into the harbor. It doesn't even come from Las Palmas. She bought it on Durban Promenade. For better, Clearwater Mall. So what became interesting is all these stories. And we were like, literally, the client was like, no, we need like 3 radio scripts. And we had like 50, and they just kept on coming. And it turned into a game for us. But what was interesting was the idea around these stories is, and we haven't done it yet, but we're planning on doing it. And I'm going to invite you to the experiment. We're going to invite outsiders to actually contribute their stories, these human truths. And, air these things. Get them out in the open. And if you do, obviously, you could probably get a great shopping spree from Clearwater Mall to help out. The next rule that I want to talk about is creating a narrative, creating a story. We all know that guy. And what was very, very interesting, is we got a brief from, this was for COP17. It was literally 3 weeks before it actually had to be live, and the stage and stall actually had to be running. And what it was is we needed to show off what the IDC had done over the past, 4 years. What was very interesting is they had done a lot. And not only had they done a lot, they had influenced a lot of communities and a lot of people around their projects. So how could we do this in a way that anyone could understand? So what we did is we literally created these micro narratives that you could delve into. At a touch, you could literally go deeper and deeper and deeper into these little characters' worlds. And you'd instantly understand what, for example, the solar energy panels did for a certain community in Western Cape, and go even deeper and deeper into that. So there's one more rule that I'm not going to share with you today, but that's my speech.